When people talk about oil in the Caribbean, the story usually begins with Guyana. But the truth is, the region's energy history started long before that. Trinidad and Tobago were the first to discover and produce oil and gas over a century ago. Then, in 2015, Guyana made one of the largest offshore oil discoveries in modern history. Today, that same geological belt now includes Grenada, which is already in offshore exploration, and Jamaica, which is now entering its final POE drilling stage. This is not coincidence. This is a regional energy system that is still unfolding. For Jamaica, this moment did not come out of nowhere. Oil and gas traces have been documented on the island since the 1800s. There have been natural oil seeps, hydrocarbon-stained rocks, and multiple government-backed surveys over the decades. So the real question today is no longer, does Jamaica have oil? The question now is, how much is there and is it commercially viable? Jamaica sits on the same geological trend that runs through Venezuela, Guyana, Trinidad, and Grenada. Off Jamaica's south coast lies the Walton Morant Basin, a deepwater basin with the same petroleum system as Guyana's offshore fields. Industry studies estimate that this basin could hold billions of barrels of oil equivalent. That is why international companies are here not speculation, but geology. To lead this phase, the government of Jamaica partnered with United Oil and Gas plc, a UK-listed energy company. Their agreement is strictly for exploration and seismic testing, not drilling. The Jamaican government retains ownership of all resources. This stage is about data, not extraction.
From the frontier of Jamaica's energy exploration journey as a significant milestone of the nation's surface geochemical exploration SGE program was observed at the Port Royal Cruise Terminal. During his keynote address, Minister of Energy, Transport and Telecommunications Daryl Vaz was gyroscopic in navigating the weight of expectations of the Jamaican populace, with the formal conditions of the survey being conducted by United Oil and Gas.
The activity is conducted under a formal production sharing agreement between the Government of Jamaica through the Ministry of Energy and United Oil and Gas. The agreement provides a structured, transparent, and internationally recognized framework for offshore exploration, ensuring that any activity within Jamaica's maritime space is properly regulated, environmentally responsible, and aligned with national development priorities. In keeping with its 2026 approved work program, United Oil and Gas has contracted TDI Brooks, an internationally respected industry expert, to carry out this survey. This survey does not authorize drilling or production. It is for data gathering, and it is a data gathering exercise that supports informed, responsible, evidence-based decision-making by the government of Jamaica.
Seismic testing is the same method used before Exxon drilled in Guyana. Sound waves are sent beneath the ocean floor to map rock layers, oil traps, and migration pathways. Without this data, drilling would be blind. Jamaica is now completing this stage.
The primary tools we're looking at is the sub-bottom and the multi-beam, and the multi-beam is going to give us a good image of the seafloor. So that'll give us seafloor morphology, and we'll see some degree of features. And the sub-bottom will show us the composition down to 10 to probably about 10 meters.
Originally, industry models estimated Jamaica's success odds at 1 in 5. After new seismic interpretations, that probability has now improved to 1 in 3 in oil exploration. That is considered very high. Both Trinidad and Guyana had less success probabilities when they first drilled. This is why expectations have changed. It is no longer about if oil exists. It is now about how much and whether it can be produced commercially.
Exploration chance of success of finding hydrocarbons is 1 in 5. Okay, it's about a 20% chance of success.
Right, 20%.
Which is really high in frontier exploration.
Yeah.
If this work is successful, we'll move it to a 1 in 3. Okay. That's how valuable this work is to United and to the project and to de-risking the project, if it is successful. For frontier exploration like this, a 1 in 5 is unbelievably good odds.
Yeah.
Incredibly good odds in your favour. For frontier super wildcat exploration, which this is, if you can reduce it to 1 in 3, that is sensational odds.
The survey represents due diligence, not destiny. So, I've seen the comments every time the whole issue of this exploration comes up, where people get excited and basically think that we have struck the magic oil. We have not. Therefore, I would say to you that the best person to listen to is me. And if you don't hear me say it, then you know it's not on. So let us try, and this is from the misinformation, but to say to you that if other of our Caribbean neighbors and in the region have been so fortunate to strike oil, then we know that Jamaica is a blessed country and our time is coming, hopefully.
Minister Vaz was also deliberate in highlighting all the required regulatory approvals from both NEPA and the National Fisheries Authority to negate potential risks to the environment.
The approvals ensure that the activity is conducted in a manner that protects Jamaica's marine environment and safeguards the livelihoods of our fishing communities. This survey is being executed in accordance with the international best practices, local regulatory requirements, and the highest applicable environmental standards. Robust oversight mechanisms are also in place, including the presence of local representatives on board the vessel to ensure that operations are carried out safely, responsibly, and with due regard for environmental protection.
The minister closed with a potential timeline for the results of the survey.
We'll probably get some preliminaries in a matter of weeks after the exercise is complete, and that as early as mid-year this year, we would have some final evidence-based results.
If the seismic results confirm commercial targets, Jamaica will move to drilling. Offshore, this would begin with 1 to 2 exploration wells, followed by multiple production wells if successful. Onshore, 3 to 5 test wells are planned in select basins. The current timeline places the first offshore exploration well around 2026, with potential production by 2028 to 2030 if results are positive. And this is where the national impact comes in. This is not about replacing tourism or bauxite. It is about strengthening the entire economy through energy security, infrastructure, better wages, and a stronger currency. It means cheaper power, more investment, and opportunity for Jamaicans abroad to return and build. Jamaica is not guessing anymore. Jamaica is measuring, testing, and preparing. And now, the Caribbean energy story continues.